Hello dear friends, I'm Marina from ourstars.net and this is the weekly horoscope of the week of January 28. Okay, so here I have my notes. So look how many stuff we have during the week. We have some great aspects to talk about, like the sextile between Saturn and Neptune, the trine between Venus and Uranus, the sextile between Mercury and Jupiter as well, and some other great stuff. And basically one challenge. The one challenge is on Friday when we have a square between Mars and Pluto. But overall, the aspects are very positive. First of all, I would like to start with the sextile between Saturn and Neptune, which will be exact on Wednesday, okay, on Thursday, the 31st of January. But it doesn't really matter the exact day because basically we can feel the impact of this transit for more than just one day. Basically, we may feel it for a couple of weeks. And it's especially positive because both of the planets are really strong. Saturn is in Capricorn, the sign of its rulership, but Neptune is in Pisces, also the sign which it rules. So the planets are equally strong and positive, and at the same time they have this wonderful connection. First of all, what does Neptune represent? Neptune is about inspiring things, about your imagination, about creativity and intuition. On the other hand, the challenge about Neptune is that sometimes things might be too blurry, too messy. We may imagine something, but in reality, it may not be something possible, or it may turn out to be something different. And we know that Neptune people, which are mostly artists and creative people, very often struggle with that. In their imagination, they see things in one way, and in reality, it's difficult to materialize those things, or two, they look completely different from what they have expected. And on the other hand, how Saturn can support the situation is by bringing this capacity to materialize our inspiration. That's great. Also because Saturn can, bring us a little bit more down to earth, can help us to be more grounded, more in touch with reality, more logical, which is something that Neptune totally misses. So one of the greatest things that you can do during the week is to try to materialize those inspiring ideas that you have. Use your intuition, use your creativity, and you may really create something visible, something measurable, something valuable and useful. Saturn really likes things to be useful, to be meaningful, and to be, something rational, something concrete. So really productive combination, both for creative people, but also business people, because the Saturn part here, or the Capricorn part, sometimes can make people fall into the trap of being conservative or doing things, like they have always done them, which can make things boring or, not so exciting and interesting. So in business, you may feel like you're more inspired, like you have some new ideas, and you might be more creative when it comes to some serious stuff and things which are, about your work or business. So great aspect, especially for people who have a strong Capricorn and Pisces energy. Personally, I'm really excited because currently Saturn is in conjunction with my Sun, but Neptune makes this beautiful sextile. So I feel really inspired. I feel like I have some great ideas, and at the same time, I find ways to materialize them. And Neptune really helps in this situation so that I'm not so overwhelmed or too stuck, which Saturn can sometimes bring to us. So if you have important planets in in Capricorn or in Pisces, you may feel really strong the impact of this transit, especially if your natal planets are somewhere in the middle of the sign, approximately around the 15th degree. But anyone can also benefit from this aspect, even if you don't have planets in Capricorn or Pisces. Now, the other aspect, which is very exciting, Venus will make trine with Uranus on Saturday. Very positive aspect, honestly, about emotions. This is great. About adventures, it's wonderful. And even about taking risks when it comes to emotional things or your relationships. Uranus can bring more variety, can bring some exciting new adventures. So be open for experiments, be open for some positive surprises. You might receive them, or it's also a great time to surprise your partners as well. And even for creativity, this is a very productive aspect, which may help you to have those new inspirations, those new ideas and approaches, especially when it comes to beauty stuff. Or you may just decide to change something about your appearance. For example, women may feel a stronger desire to change something about their hair, or maybe their makeup, or their style, or clothes, or whatever. But things which will help you to feel different. That's what we really need with this aspect, to feel excited, to feel different, to try something new. And the next thing that we need to talk about is that Venus will enter Capricorn on Sunday. So basically the very next day after the beautiful aspect with Uranus, which can change the overall emotional atmosphere. We can feel more logical, we may feel more down to earth when it comes to our relationships, our partnerships, which can always be something great. Also, when it comes to stability, safety and security in our relationships, this may really be very important for us. Honestly, we were going to feel that after Sunday, so we can, skip that part and maybe talk about it next week, but why not being prepared from now? And also one more thing which can be great about this ingression is that Venus in Capricorn is wonderful for business negotiations. Capricorn is all about work, responsibilities, and even business. So Venus entering this sign can bring us more entertainment, more joy, more happiness of those, processes or the time that we spend working. And as we said, business negotiations may also be more harmonious and more productive. Okay, now let's talk about the challenging aspect of the week. On Friday, we have Mars squaring Pluto. Two very powerful planets, very strong, very active planets, but in a different way, of course. Generally, this square can bring more confrontations with other people. People might be over impulsive or really insisting on something. So it's not so easy to negotiate or to convince them, especially if they want something concrete. Power struggles are also possible. Pluto is in Capricorn, which is the sign of structure and basically power and leaders. So we may feel like we want to stand up for ourselves, like we want to defend ourselves, which very often requires a certain level of confrontation. And with this aspect, we may really be ready to make the sacrifices. But keep in mind that sometimes it's just in a very rough way, very harsh way, which is unnecessary. So, pay attention. Also, keep in mind that the aspect may bring more accidents or some kind of injuries, or the energy is too intense, and if we cannot handle it, if we cannot channel it, it may bring some kind of challenges for us and sometimes unnecessary tension. On the positive side, the same aspect, Mars squaring Pluto, can bring incredible motivation and willpower, and we may achieve more things that we have expected. So this aspect can really make you hardworking and focused and ready to overcome challenges when necessary. Also, we need to remember that Mars is especially strong here. Mars is in Aries, the sign of its rulership. So generally, it's time to be active. It's time to, stand up for yourself, defend your position. And maybe if you have been in a situation where you have been in some way suppressed or neglected or even hurt by other people, now might be the time to change that situation. One more thing which we can also discuss, the conjunction between the Sun and the Mercury, which is on Tuesday. Exact conjunction, 10 degrees Aquarius. Very interesting aspect for new ideas, for inspiration. Intellectually, you might be overactive, overproductive. Keep in mind that sometimes it might feel overwhelming. Sometimes, we may not be able to stop these constant ideas popping up in our minds, and that's the challenge. So you have to find a way to control your thoughts and ideas, not to feel like, they are controlling you. And at the same time, it's a great aspect also for communication with other people. Aquarius is, after all, the sign of groups, of friends, of communities. Mercury is also a very social planet. Mercury is very strong in Aquarius. So overall, we can say great time for group activities, for, working together with other people, consulting with other people, and also having some brand new ideas, really different, really inspiring. Also, Mercury will make a very positive aspect with Jupiter on Sunday, a sextile between Mercury in Aquarius and Jupiter in Sagittarius. Great aspect because the planets are very strong. Jupiter in Sagittarius, in the sign of its rulership, Mercury in Aquarius, the sign of exaltation. So fantastic time for future plans and goals, and really focusing on new stuff, on wisdom, on inspiration, on more creativity. And honestly, that's just a wonderful time to make some new plans, to be very precise about your outcome, but also to be present about what you should do right now. And one more thing which I also want to pay attention to is that the dominant elements during the week are fire and earth. Most of the week we have 4 fire planets. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we have 5 fire planets because the moon will be in Sagittarius. So generally a great time to be active, to be initiative, to maybe try new things, to be focused on what you should do. The earth energy can really help us to be more grounded, to be more practical, to be more patient. That's one thing that usually the fire element is missing. Fire is about taking action, getting the results fast, but it's not bringing patience. And when we also have the grounding earth energy strongly affecting us, we may complete the things that we start. We might be more logical and also more patient. But generally, fire and earth are the 2 constructive signs, which means they are about creating something, about doing something. Even though we are in the last quarter of the lunar cycle, because basically we have a new moon next Monday, so what it means, the 4th of February. Even in this case, we can still do something meaningful, something important, and we should focus on the actions, the activities, and the work that we have. As I already said, on next Monday we have a new moon, so basically Sunday might be a time to relax more, maybe to reassess some things, maybe you can have those ideas and those inspiration, but the week after will be the time of the brand new cycle, when things may turn into a new direction. But more on that in next week's prediction. So that's the most important, the general overview of the whole week. Of course, you can still watch your daily horoscopes, because in each day I discuss concretely all of the aspects, not only major but also minor aspects, the sign of the moon, which is very important for the overall emotional atmosphere. So if you really want to be prepared, don't forget to watch those videos. Also, if you are new here and you would like to receive notifications about other astrology videos or personal development and coaching, you can subscribe to my channel, or you can also go to marstars.net for more inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me today. Leave your thoughts in the comments below about your expectations of the week, or how you're handling with things, or how do you feel, and I would really love to see your comments. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you next week.